Hello and welcome to today's tutorial on PHP. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create database and then how you can use it in your program to either insert data there, read data from it, delete data or update data. So follow me as we go. Before now, you must have installed your XAMPP. If you are coding on a system like this, you will have your XAMPP software installed already, and then if you have your XAMPP software, look for where you have your XAMPP installed on your system. See, look at my own here. Hope you can you see it? That is my XAMPP. Double click on it, then the XAMPP control panel will open. This is the control panel. This is what you can see here. This is the XAMPP control panel. Okay, now if you look carefully here, there's Apache here. Can you see the Apache? Let me zoom it so that you can see it well. We have the Apache. We have the Apache there. Then you have my SQL. So if you want to use the Apache, you are going to click on start here. Look at it. Click on start under Apache to start. That Apache is the server that will run your PHP codes. Then my SQL, look at my SQL. My SQL will help you to run the database. Let me say my SQL is the database rather. Okay, so you need to click on start also for the database. Right? Okay, if both of them are working now, you will see them, both of them in green. Once they are working, you can close, either close or minimize this XAMPP dashboard. Once you minimize that, you will go to your Google Chrome. Go to Google Chrome. Where's my Google Chrome? My Google Chrome. Locate your Google Chrome on your browser, on your system. This is my Google Chrome here. Double tap on it. Now, once it opens, you are going to go to your database. To open your database on your local server, here like this, I'm on a local host like this. That XAMPP software provides local host for you so that you can code on your system locally and test your code. When you upload to online, you still have the online listing there. So you are on your address bar, you are going to type something like this. Type HTTP, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, then full colon, then double slash localhost is there already. This one will open your website, all right, your localhost website. But since I want to open the database, I'm going to put /, then you type php my admin. Type php my admin, all in small letter. Type php my admin. Once you do it like this, hit on enter. Let's see, click on enter, allow it to load. The database will open very soon. Once your server is running, it should open. Just hold on a bit. And then one good thing, okay, it starts open. One good thing about the local host is that it doesn't use data. Okay, you don't need to use data. You don't need internet connection. You don't need Wi-Fi or whatever. It just works like that. This is the database. You can see it has opened. This is the full screen. Let me show the full screen of the system. Okay, this is the full screen. So you can see this is how your database looks like. So you will go to this side here, this side that you are seeing here on your local host. Look at this new. You are going to click on new. Click on new. When you click on new, come here. Look at database. Then you are going to create database. Look at it. Create database. Do you see that? Create database. You don't need to click on that again because you have already clicked on new. It's already on that place. Look at it. Do you see where there is database name? You are going to click on it and put it a name. Any name you want for your database. Okay, you put it there, and you are going to use this name in your script so that you will specify the database name. If you don't specify the database name correctly, PHP will throw error to throw unknown database. So I'm going to put the database now. Let me zoom this. This camera is kind of dim. Hope you can see it clear. Okay. Now let me type the database name. Let me just call it what should I call it? Users. Let me just call it user. Call it users. Let's say users or whatever you want to call it. After you call it, you type it as users. Now you are going to click on create. Did you see create? Let me see. Okay, and look at create here. If you scroll, you have create here. Click on create. See, beside the name where you type your user, you will see create. Click on create. Okay, say database created successfully. So your database has been created. Now that the database is created, what we need to create next is the tables. We need to create the tables so that we can use our tables in the code, because in the code you are going to specify the database name and also specify the table name and also the columns inside the table. The columns are like just like when you are drawing your in your Microsoft Word tables, where you have a column names and the rest of them. It's the same thing. So you will come here under this table name. You will type your table name here. Let's say I've created the database users, right? Now I want to create tables there inside the database users. What table should I create? What table should I create? Let's say I want to display goods, right? Let me say I want to display goods on a shopping cart. So I'll just say goods, or I'll say available goods, or let me just write goods. Okay, so let me just write goods, for instance, whatever. Just write goods. But any name you want to give to your table, you can give it any name, just anyhow. If you want to specify two names, you can use a underscore, like available goods. Available goods. You can use underscore like this. This is hyphen underscore like this. Okay, hope you can see it. Can you see it? Let me zoom it. Okay. Look at it. Available goods like this. You can put underscore, or you leave it as goods alone. Okay. Alright. Now after that, the number of columns you want to have in it, you put the number of columns. So let's say we want to have how many columns? Just plenty columns. Any number of columns. You can just, let me just say 5 now, for example, so that when later you have to name all the columns. So maybe the column now is maybe let me create it first. Click on create. It will open. Okay, now once it open like this, can you see it? So you start creating it. Now these names of the column, you have to put the first one should always be ID. Use ID like this. ID column. That column is very important. That one will be, you set it to automatic increment so that it can be incrementing as the data keep coming, so that no column will be, no row will be identical with another row, so that in case when you are collecting data from the database, you will never mix the row or the rows together. So give it ID. Then the type should be integer. ID integer. The length, leave the length for integer. Normal length for integer is 11 digits. Then if you want bigger data, you can put it long int. If you put long int, if you want to put long int, to change it here like this, click on this drop down, you will see long int there. Long int. Let me go scroll it down. Is it long int? Big int. Sorry, big int. Big int. See, there are so many. This one there are different data types I can use. Many data type. As we go on, I'll be explaining them one by one for you. Varchar int. Yes, big. See, big int. Big int. So select big int like this to become the big int for the ID column. And that big int, it's like 20 digits. And that 20 digits is about how many? Is it 3? It's more than a trillion, right? It's more than a trillion. 6 digits is, 7 digits is million, then 13 digits billion, and so on like that. But this one is big int is 20 digits. So anyone, then come under default, leave it as none. Okay, When you leave default as none, that means it must contain a value. When you are inserting, it must not be empty. But if you want it to be empty, you can put it as null. That is, it can be empty and it may not be empty. As defined, that is if you want to specify a default value, although it can still be overwritten later, you can still update it. Or current timestamp, that one it will put the automatic. Once you insert data, it will put the time directly, so you don't need to put like that. You don't need to put that. So you just leave it as none, so that it will not be empty. Then come to collection, leave that collection attribute, leave it like that. Come to null, leave it, don't put it null. Okay, if you put it as null, that means it can be null. Then what more again? There are still more. Let me scroll this thing down. There is something that is important about this ID. This is it. This AI auto increment. You need to set this auto increment. Check it. Check the boss. Check now. Sure. Okay. Now, after checking that auto increment, that means this ID now becomes a primary key. You can see it marks it as primary. So that ID is primary. Okay, and that primary is going to use it. Is going to be a unique data that we use to identify all the values that are on the database table. So it's very important you leave the first one as auto increment and integer, so that you can be incrementing it. Once you insert data, you don't even need to control that ID. That ID will be controlled by the database itself. Once you put it as auto increment to be controlling it, any value that is coming, it will create a new number. Maybe if you insert the first data, it will call that one 1. If you insert again, it will call that one 2. If you insert again, it will call it 3. And that ID will never repeat. Even if you delete the data for number 1, it will never call another one number 1 again. It will not, unless you yourself you update it, you change it by yourself, and you don't need to do that, so that there will be no mismatch, there will be no problem like that. So now the next thing is, once you are done with that one, you go to the next table, next column. So the next column should be what you want to display. Let's say I'm giving this example as a goose, Abi. I'm using goose as an example. I could have used login details as example, so I'll just use a name, surname, full name, other name, date of birth, and the rest. But I'm using goose now, so let's just use a goose as short example. I will soon end this video, just for us to create the table and that we can use. So we are looking at goose, right? So if we are looking at displaying goose, what are the things we would mostly like to store about the goose? Let's say we would like to store the name of the goose, right? So I can just say goose name. We would like to store the name of the goose the user is uploading. Maybe the name of the goose. So say goose name. Can you see it? Goose name. So now maybe type of goose name, like maybe let me say cloth, car, machine, phone, anything like that. So you just need to imagine it. Now, what is the data type? What is the type of that goose name? Goose name cannot be integer. It has to be in string, like number, like letters, alphabet. So you call it, that varchar or text. Varchar, that is variable character. It used to have limited length. Okay, it used to have limited length. Then you can see the length, available length, 0 to 65535. That is byte. You can see. So, but text doesn't have length. So if you put it as text, the user can type as long, can type so plenty things. But for this kind of name, you don't need to set it as text. Set it as variable character. Okay, set it as variable character. Then minimize this page. Okay, good. Set it as variable character. Then when you set it as variable character, put the name, put the length. Let's assume we are writing goose name now. So the value you are expecting as a developer should not be more than maybe 200 character, or maybe 200 characters for a goose name now. So you just write 200 inside that space for the length. I think that is okay. Then go to default. Under default, set it as null. Now, the importance of that null is that if the person that is uploading it decide not to put name, your database can still store it. But if you leave it as none, that means the person will not be able to put it. It must. And then maybe in your code, if you put none, that means you have to take care of it in your coding, so that in case if the user did not put name, you have to bounce the person back and tell them that name is required, Goose name is required. Okay. If you don't do that, by the time you try to install to insert it, the database will reject it. And once the database rejects it, it becomes error on your part as a developer. So in order to do that, when you create your database and you set it to none, make sure you protect it from the script so that as the user is putting it. But if you set it as null, you don't care again whether the person put the name or not, because you left it as null, then database will accept and then there will be no error. So be very careful there. And then me personally, there's a style I always use to insert my data. I have a function I always use to insert data. So that function used to make use of null insert. Right? It will insert the first line first, then it will insert the rest as update. So because of that, any data I want to insert, no matter how bulky the data is, if I let it be 100 data, so long as their table is available, only that function handles it. If I want to insert 2 data, only that function handle it. So I pick it from null insertion. If I don't pick it from null insertion, it will not be able to handle dynamic this thing. Although it depends on coding strategies. Yeah? As a PHP developer, you can just sit and think and develop your own coding strategy. Pam, and then it will go. Anything is possible with PHP. Trust me. And so long as you can think about it, it is possible. Now, the next thing is, let me set another column again. That's Goose name. Now, you may like to set the Goose type. If you like to set the Goose type, you just type Goose type. Goose underscore type. You can see Goose type. Now, how will you store the Goose type? Is it integer or character? It should still be variable character, so that the type of Goose, maybe what category does it belong to or whatever. Let's call it maybe 200 characters, right? It should not be too long. But if you are expecting too long data, you can set it to 500 or 1000. If you like, you can set it to 1024 characters. It's very long. That is good. Okay. If you want to set it above 300, 500, above this, you can still set it. It doesn't mean. Then set this one as null also. Or if you don't want to set it as null, you can leave it as none. Okay. Null. Then auto leave the rest. Auto increment, no. All this varchar cannot auto increment. Then what parameters would you like to save again concerning Goose? What parameter would you like to store? Maybe you may like to store the price. How much? What is the what? The price, the cost of selling this thing. So you might like to store the selling price. So you say selling price. Selling underscore, please. That you know with selling price. Selling price. Okay. Selling price. Selling price should also be, that is money, Abi. That money, when you are dealing with money is best stored in as a decimal. Store money as decimal. Click on decimal. Then select length. Decimal length. Put 15,2. 15,2. That is, it will have 15 characters. Can be 15. That is how many? That is billion. How many trillion? Already 15 digit. Then comma 2 means 2 decimal point. You know, money like naira now is always, maybe you can have 65,000.50 kobo. 66.55 like that. You can have small decimal. So money is best stored in decimal. Let us say 15,2 or 20,2. Most banking database use 15,2 or 20,2 if you are expecting huge amount of money. Then things like Bitcoin wallet. Bitcoin wallet needs to store up to maybe 20,8 or 20,4. When you say comma 4, that is 4 decimal. Comma 8, that is 8 decimal places. Like all those Bitcoin and Moon Cash, those cryptocurrencies that used to have long fraction, so you need to use decimal and save maybe 20 comma this thing. You can send any number you like. If you like say 100 comma 200, so database will accept it. But if you don't set it well, your database will reject your data when you are trying to insert it. Then go to under this one, you can select null also, or if you don't want it to be null, you can leave it as none. But if you leave it as none, you must take care of it in your script. Remember, you must take care of it so that if somebody tries to put empty data, you reject it. And then even though if you even set it as null here, and then somebody try to put empty data, you can still reject it in your script depending on what you want as the developer. Is that okay? Now, what again? Selling price, then time, date, time uploaded. You can see, you can save the time the person uploaded it. So, or the date place, or time uploaded, or time stamp. You can set it. So you can set as many columns as you want. Once you finish this, after saving it, and then you want to develop and discover that you need more columns, you can see come and add columns. It doesn't have limitation. Okay, let me say date uploaded, date uploaded. That date uploaded should also be date uploaded. If you like, you can select date format, or you select timestamp. Where's timestamp? Or date time. If you want to be putting date time, date time, only date. Okay. Look at it. If you want to store date time, you can select date time or timestamp. Timestamp we think it will show that the date and the date and time, everything at once. Okay. Or you select if you select you can also select varchar too. You select varchar, you have to insert the date from the script. But if you select timestamp, you will not need to insert the date, and then you can just leave this one as none. It will insert it by itself. Okay, it will insert it by itself if you leave it as none like this, and then even if you don't take care of it from the script, it will still insert it by itself because it is timestamp. Okay, but default, you have to set the default. Where is it? Default. If you set as timestamp, set default. Set default to current timestamp, so that to adjust it. But me normally, I normally use this thing. I used to use varchar in my coding. I prefer using varchar because there's a style of data I always like to save. I'll just use varchar, then I'll set this one to null. Okay, then I'll set this thing. I used to set it to something like 100, so that in my script I can insert it by myself. Okay, I set the length to 100, set this one to null, then from my script I insert it by myself. In PHP, you can easily capture the time and the date and whatever when an event occur. You can use a date time default to set it and then capture the time. When you get the time and you format it in the format you want, then you insert it by yourself. I always prefer to do that. Okay, now after you are done with all this, if you want to, if the columns you created initially as exhausted and you still wish to add more columns, you just go up again. Go up. Can you see this add? Where is it? Add column, add one. You can see click on this one to add more column. You can increase this number, add as many columns as you want again. Click on go. If you click on go now, you will see those columns coming down here. They'll come down here, and then you can add more as you want. But once you are done, you just scroll down like this. Where is it? You scroll down and click on save. Where is save? Looking for it. Save. Okay, you will see save at the bottom. You will see save at the bottom. Click on save to save your column. It's loading. All right, your database has been created. Okay, your table has been created. Can you see now? I created 4 columns. What is the table name? The table name is goose, right? Where is it? Is it displayed there? Well, these are the contents of the table. Okay, so you can see. Let me go to, this is the structure. The structure, then browse. Browse, we want to see what is inside the database. So you can see serving ID, goods name, goods type, selling price, date uploaded. So you can name it as many as you can add as many as you want. Okay, if I want to add more now, I will come to structure. Once I come to structure, can you see this add? Say add one. So if I want to add 2 more columns, maybe I discover that in my code I need 2 more columns, I click on to add. Yeah, I'll come to structure. Then under add, I'll type the column number. Then I will go here. Say, look at it. Say after date uploaded. So if I want to add the columns after date uploaded, I will click on go here, and then it will start adding it. And then I'll start typing the name again. But if I don't want, I leave it. Let me click it and so that you can see. So you can see now it's giving you option. Now you put the names like what we did before. You do all of them again, and once you are done with that, you click on you click on save. Save. You click on save, and then it will join the other ones that you have done before. Okay. So this is how you create database. Now we have database. Look by your left here. Can you see? You see the database name users. Then you see the table name goods. Now if I want to create another table inside this database user, I will click on new. Once I come here, I'll click on new. Once I click on new, I will start creating new table. So you can create as many tables as you want. You can create endless number of tables. You can add endless number of columns. But the reason why we normally create different tables is so that to make everything easy to understand and easy to trace. We have different tables, and then we name the table according to what the table is doing. Okay. Like if I want to have admin on my site now, I will have a table called admin. Now inside the database, maybe I'll give a special name for the database, or I can just say users. Then inside the user, I have admin, I have clients, I have buyer, I have sellers. You understand? And there are many. Then I have a table for goods. I will create another table for history. I will create another table for whatever and put the columns there. And then from the script now I can specify the name. All right. So that is how you create a database table, and then you can use it. Okay. If you want to create another database apart from user, you click on this new. This new above here we create a database. While this new here we create a table inside the selected database. Okay. All this other one, please leave it. Don't touch it. They are generic. They are vital to the running of the database itself. Information schema, MySQL, performance schema, PHPMyAdmin, test. Don't touch any of them, please. You don't need to touch them. You create your own new and leave those ones, so that if you open them and you try to mess up with any of them, your database might not work properly again. So that is how you create your database. Maybe in the next another video, I will show you how to connect to this database we just created. This database user, I will show you how to connect to it, and then how to insert values into this goods table, and then you will see it. Once I insert it, we come here and come and check it. You see that the data will be there. Then we'll go to the website again and see how we can connect to it and display the data that has been inserted. Then we can also try to see how we can delete the inserted data or update the inserted data. So that is all for that. So we'll meet in the next video. God bless.